And there it is. Ah, dear. All of my neighbours have started up their chainsaws. There's like, I think 3 chainsaws going right now, and they are cutting down various trees around here, probably chopping back their Pahutakawa trees or cutting them down completely and then planting another one. Seems to be a common occurrence in Helensville. Now you'll find this is my day off, right? So when it comes to this video, sounds fine, so that's good. I would like to think that we'll get lots done today. We'll see how we go. I never know exactly how much I'm going to get done. You'll find I'll put the start time for this video down in the description later on. It will go unlisted, therefore you need to be subscribed, hit the bell button and have notifications turned on to be able to access it later on, because live streams go unlisted. But good news is I do actually make them available to patrons, and if you're not a patron but you still want to get access to the live stream painting stuff, it's alright, because if you go into playlists and you look for miniature painting, there is a playlist right there and you can just go in there and then access all of the live streams later on. So it's not really a big problem if you want to watch it later on, because you can do that and you don't need to be a patron. So that's good news, right? This is my day off, so this is the day that I go and do some painting, essentially. And if you haven't been part of my live streams, then normally what I do is I present everything first and then I open up for questions and answers, but that's not the format for today. This is my painting day, so you can chat along with me about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to talk like forever. Anyway, let's get started. Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I'm going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons while I'm painting my miniatures. I have myself a flesh golem, which I already started painting, and I thought I would continue. So this is a thing that came out of the Castle Ravenloft board game. I do apologise for all of the chainsaw noises that you can hear, but all of my neighbours have decided that they need to chop down their trees right this very second. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to turn this flesh golem into something like this. Who knows if I will achieve that. I am part way there. I have done some of the work, and with any luck I will get a good portion of the rest of the work done today. Good news, right? So there are a couple of areas that I missed yesterday, not yesterday, last week, so I'm going to work through those and sort of figure them out. Okay, so we'll start off with a standard brush. A couple of little areas that I missed from last time, and that was right here. Don't know why I missed it. And then at the knee, I missed that as well, so I need to deal with them. How's it going, Leon Gunnett? And Matt's here. Hi, Matt. What do you got here? Joe, I'm at work right now. Unfortunately, won't be able to paint along with you today, Fred. Not a problem, Joe. I totally understand. And don't worry, Joe. You can watch the live streams later on. You just got to go through the playlists. Look for the playlist, and the unlisted videos are there in the playlist that's called Miniature Painting. So don't worry about it. Carter Videos, hi, how's it going? River RPG channel, what's up everybody? Well, I don't know. What's up is that Fred is about to try and paint the sections that he missed last time. I'm using the Citadel Averland Sunset, but I mean, it doesn't really matter what you use, honestly. Oh, I almost tipped it over. God, I hate these things. These little pots are such a pain. Okay, alright, let's just get a little bit of that paint out, and then I'm going to have to water it down because it's Citadel paints that are really thick, and this stuff is definitely very thick, and that is probably just enough to get going. Alright, cool, before it gets bubbly. I don't want bubbly. Okay, I like the metal studs he has stuck in him. Excellent sculpt. Yes, it is. It's a very good sculpt considering what you're dealing with. I actually am very impressed, and hence why I decided this is the one I would go with. Okay, so that's pretty hoary, but I'll tidy it all up later. I just want to get the paint in there for now, and then we'll go back and sort out the brown pants and tidy things up when I need to. Okay, I'll let that dry. There won't be much I can do with those areas for a little while. That's fine though, no problems. Okay, now that I've done that, I need to start breaking down the areas that I need to actually do some work on. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are interested, the Eberron Rising from the Last War, the cover has changed. Now, there was a bit of a hue and a cry. They said, apparently, the designers said that the new cover for Eberron, the standard one, not the special one, or limited edition one, that it was just a placeholder. So now they have released an image of a different cover for that book. So if you were interested, you should be able to find that on the Dungeons & Dragons YouTube channel. They've done a little update and talked about what was going on. Or you can check out Nerd Immersion. He's done like a very short video talking about exactly what the designers were talking about in the first place. Or you can go onto their official website and they have some information there as well. Okay, so now I need to decide. No, just want to take a moment to establish what areas and what I need to do next, because I didn't really do that last time. I just try to get as much done as quickly as possible, and feel like that might require just a little bit of a touch up in certain places. Okay, all right, so maybe around the legs. So I will grab some of this Averland Sunset, and I'll use a smaller brush, and I'm just going to maybe attack in just at the back here, and then I will sort it out and tidy it up later. There we go. Cool. So yes, for those of you who thought I was gone from YouTube, no, I'm not gone from YouTube. I just got sick and tired of editing everything from Twitch over to YouTube, and they're all sort of sitting there waiting for me to do the final bits and pieces, previous painting videos. So I'm not doing that anymore. I've had enough. Seemed like a good idea at the time. What's that, Leon Gunnett? This may not be the proper time to mention this, but have you seen the ridiculous Monty Cook games consent in gaming? Free PDF. Current year mindset. Yes. I haven't really seen that. Sorry. I didn't really sort of follow that, so I've got no idea what's going on with that. What I do know is that, we have like 3 starter sets for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. We've got the Stranger Things starter set, we have the original starter set, we now have the Dungeons & Dragons Essentials starter set, and there is another box that's come out. Now they're calling it an adventure box, but this adventure box, as it happens, looks like it's got exactly the same content as the starter set, the new D&D Essentials or the original. So a lot of it looks like a starter set to me, even though they're not calling it a starter set. And that's the Dungeons & Dragons Rick and Morty Adventure box set. And it literally does look like another starter set that they have decided to put out. Coming, November 19th of this year, 2019. So there's going to be essentially four starter sets for Dungeons & Dragons 5e very shortly. You could take your pick about what you want. Isn't it mad? I mean, I'm not against the idea of having lots and lots of box sets or starter sets or something like that. But yeah, I told everybody that Dungeons & Dragons would move from being a mainstream pop culture quite a while back. I mean, not just becoming more popular, but it would become mainstream, and it's becoming mainstream. Whether you realize it or not, it is definitely going to be mainstream. It won't be much longer, and everybody will find everything in the usual places. What's that, Joe? Yes, it looks better. Good. Roll for damage. PJ, what's going on, Fred and everybody else? How's it going, PJ? Nice to see that you got another video out. I saw that on terrain. It was awesome. Okay, so that feels like that should be black, that belt. I feel like I'm going to attack that next. We'll deal with you. So let's just check, make sure I'm working towards my goal, which I don't know if my goal is that easily achievable, but who knows. So it's supposed to apparently look something like that. Well, I don't know if I can do a good a job as that, but we'll see. So I'm going to go with black, then I can put the silver over the top after, and give it sort of a metallic look. So we'll go grab some black. I'll use the Vallejo black in this case. Give it a good shake. For those of you wondering how long it'll take me to paint this thing, I think it will take me a long time. To be fair, I think it will take quite a significant amount of time. Just because there are so many stitches to paint. There are, and I will paint them with a little brush for as long as my eyes hold out. But not right now. First off, let's deal with this belt. And this is going to be interesting. Oh, now, for the last 3 weeks, I've been trying to play Dungeons and Dragons with my home group. A variety of things have cropped up that have made it impossible. So with any luck, I will get to play Dungeons and Dragons, I hope, tonight, which means I'll be able to hang out with Simon and do another video with him. For those of you who are wondering what had happened to Simon and me, doing like a duo video. So they're not gone, we just didn't get a chance to do them. And me driving around the countryside just isn't practical nowadays. I have to travel a long way. So I don't usually do it just for the sake of shooting a video. But if it's to go and hang out with friends, yes. And I really can't really do that very often anyway either. Okay. This is rather tricky. Is my hand still enough? Probably not. Let's keep going anyway and see what it looks like. Okay. Right, we'll leave that for now. Okay, so let's move on to something else. What's that? Starter set with a new hat. Yes, it is essentially another starter set with a new hat. You're getting the limited cover, Joe, for the Eberron. Fair enough. That makes an awful lot of sense to me. Don't have an issue with that. Alright, so now, the headband. That headband, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be metal. So I might paint the headband now around his head. And then I'll put the sort of metallic look on it after. I think that's probably the best way to go. What's that, Matt? D&D Beyond has been working on psionics. That should mean they are working on the Dark Sun campaign, I hope. I wouldn't count on it. Do you know what I've found with Dark Sun? I like Dark Sun as a dungeon master. I like the idea of Dark Sun. I like the idea, and I did run a campaign. What I find is players do not like Dark Sun. It's just so brutal. Hi, John. How's it going? So that in itself is problematic because you need players who are willing to sort of do that. And Dark Sun is not very vanilla Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, well, who knows how popular the Descent into Avernus will be. It might be really popular and people like the idea of going to that location and she's all good. Or it might be not so popular. And, your standard sort of vanilla Dungeons and Dragons is more popular. Although I think a lot of people are running their own sort of worlds now, so it's not such a big deal. I found out that apparently, you know how you can buy dice, but somebody has started development of Braille dice for Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I'm serious. Braille dice for Dungeons and Dragons. They're still working on the audio books for the Player's Handbook. It's not the Player's Handbook. I think the Player's Handbook is done. I think it's the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster Manual. Still being turned into audio books, which I think is fantastic. Who knows where it will be available? I suspect mostly it'll be in North America and nowhere else for a while. But yeah, braille dice of all things. Crazy stuff. It's very cool. Alright, I think I might have just splotched a bit too much paint in that little part on his head. Whoopsie daisies. We need a new satanic panic. No, we don't. To make it cool and scare off the riffraff. I don't want to scare off the riffraff. That's not Leon Ganner. I'm all about getting more people. I want it to be popular. I want Dungeons and Dragons to be mainstream popular. It doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It just means that it'll be something that a lot of people are invested in. I feel like it's better they be playing Dungeons and Dragons than they be playing Monopoly. Talk about a game to break up relationships and cause strife. Okay. My eyes are having a little bit of trouble just picking out where the detail in that part of it is, but that's kind of got the headbands mostly in place. That's good news. Right, I just need a quick drink of water. Yes, John, this is out of the Ravenloft board game, the Castle Ravenloft board game. What's that, Joe? Fred, it seems like I spent most of my time collecting and painting and planning D&D stuff and very little actual playing the game. That's not good. We don't need... That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be you play heaps and heaps of Dungeons and Dragons rather than spend all this time planning and buying bits and pieces and painting miniatures. Now, I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing that that's happening, but it would be nice if it was the other way around. Maybe one day it will. I mean, I do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons videos, but I don't play anywhere near as much as I spend researching stuff. So, yeah. The reality is of trying to get everybody together in the same place, or everybody having time available at the same time, even if you decide to play online. Okay, so that's got that. I feel like there is just a couple of areas that need like blood, like fleshy, meaty bits available on it. So I'm just checking my plan again. So I've done that. I've done the headband. I'm probably going to... What I'm going to do with the mouth, if I go black and then I've got to deal with red, no, the eyes. The eyes definitely need to be darker though. So we'll do the eyes now. And the mouth, I will use the red that I've got to cover in there. That's the plan. Alec, how's it going? The reviews are really good. I don't have a group, but I would buy it if I did. Okay. I'm not too sure what we're talking about here. Something that I was talking about before, and I haven't kept up with the conversation. The new woman Monopoly game coming out, and this is not a joke. If you are a woman, you get $230 when passing go, and men get the normal $200. Good luck getting men to play ever again. Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, that's obviously trying to duplicate something. Oh, that eye is just going to cause me so much trouble. I'm just going to leave it alone. Let's do the other side. Why can't I get this to work? It just doesn't want to do it. You pig of a thing. You pig of a thing. Okay, let's talk about Unearthed Arcana, because I know there's been a whole bunch of things drop. And yes, I did go and have a look at the Unearthed Arcana for the Barbarian Path of the Wild Soul. and the monk one, Way of the Astral Self. And like most unearthed arcana, I feel like they're really overpowered and unnecessary myself, but I'm not really a person who gets to play a lot of characters. I'm mostly dungeon mastering, and I don't really sort of go into wanting huge numbers of different options because I don't get to play that often. It doesn't really concern me, but I can see other people finding this very, very exciting. But right now, if you're wanting to ask me what I think they are too powerful. But that's usually what happens when they first release unearthed arcana. They're usually way out of control compared to everything else. Alright, so there are a variety of different locations where there needs to be blood painted in. So let's just see if I can get in there without making too much of a mess. Oh, it's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be very, very, very tricky. Let's do that again. Oh, that's one. Let's do another one. That was like a big gash, so you can imagine what it's going to be like when I have to do a small gash. Do, 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 do. Oh, don't screw it up. And let's do the little itty bitty one over here. What's that, Leon Gunnett? After millennial and socialism monopoly, Hasbro is allowed to release a flop. Most people don't get that. Right, okay. To be fair, Monopoly was never really a particularly good game anyway, if you ask me. When it comes to playing games, there's a reason why I play Dungeons and Dragons, because there really is no winner or loser. Do you know what I mean? There is no somebody does not have to be the one who fails. I'm not really a hugely competitive individual, and I never felt like it improved relationships in any way whatsoever. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to put just a little bit of blood there, and that little hole needs a little bit of blood in there if we can get it to go in there without messing it up. This is pretty tricky, pretty fiddly stuff today, I have to say. Not stuff that you can sort of get to without... Oh, there's too much paint on that brush. Trying to get my hand to stay still as well, that doesn't help. Alright, so yes, if you are painting or crafting, feel free to be doing some painting and crafting while I try to do my stuff. Okay, so these big gashes, let's see if I can get in there. Yep, it's not too bad. Going to have to change the angle because I can't keep going this way and think that I'm going to do the rest of it. That's not going to work. But I've got some of it in there. What I really should be doing is I should be hitting all of the really small locations. So as I get tired, I've covered all the bits that I need to do. So maybe that's what I shall do now. So that little gash, I wonder if I can get in that little gash there without messing that up. It's so small. Okay, we got it. And I don't really know what to do with that, so we'll leave that. And then looking around. What is that? Is that a bolt or is that a bit of blood? Hard to know. Just paint the red in. Okay. Clean off the brush. Let's try it again. Focus. And hit it. Yeah, okay, that was better. And this one's a little bit more. Alright, not too bad. Cool. Right, let's have a look at the back of this little sucker. I don't feel like I need to do too much on the other side. I think there are big areas there. But probably going to be a little bit easier to paint. Okay, so this looks like a patch. Yep, got you. And let's do that again, one more time. The little one just below it. Cool. Fiddly stuff. What's that, Joe? What's this, Leon? I'm playing the Tomb of Annihilation board game with a friend at work in our spare time. Free time. Slow session started soon this year. Finished painting the minis 3 weeks ago. Finally got to play it. Okay, all right. What's it, Joe? If I ever get to play a character game, the new Warlock sounds interesting. I kind of want to have tentacles growing all over me and try to keep them under my cloak. Good luck with that. I can't imagine you better control those tentacles very. I mean, how do you hide them? Can you imagine what a dungeon master would say? No, you can't hide the tentacles that easily. Okay, so this. Okay, got it. And let's do this one here. I think I got it. Let's clean out my brush again. What's this? So I made a throne for my goblin boss mini. Okay. Made in the 80s. Alright, I'm talking about the Cragmores tonight with while I prime it. Okay, alright. Alright, so this deal with the back, and there's just a couple of big patches, so we'll put a bit more red in there since I got a lot of flesh colour all over those areas. And there we go. It's a bit more red. I'm going to have to wash out my brush constantly for this one. So I did also have a look at the Unearthed Arcana for the Sorcerer. Was the Aberrant Mind and the Warlock, the Lurker, and the Deep. And they are crazy overpowered. Not just overpowered, but crazy overpowered. First jump at it, but they are way out there, considering what you can do. And I'm not talking about damage output. I'm talking about just the sorts of things you can do. So that is my view on them. I'll just wait until they sort of tidy them up and trim them back a bit. Does anybody here watch Matt Colville or Matthew Colville on his channel and on his sort of, what is it, MC? Matthew Colville Distracts Me, so MCDC, I think that's the channel. And I was appalled that I listened and had to watch the poor guy have to contend with people commenting about the sound quality of the live stream. Now, if you've ever had to live stream, there are so many things that can go wrong in a live stream, whether it be sound or video or whatever, that it appalls me that people expect that the quality of the video content should be, particularly when you're just doing it on your own and you don't have like a sound person or somebody dedicated to doing that for you at that particular time, expect high quality, like network production output. So I would really appreciate it if people would tell those individuals who have those sort of expectations on the poor guy to give him a break, considering how much really good advice he's put out, and he gets really conscious about the quality of his work during a live stream. So it's very hard to get him to live stream in the first place. And yes, they do a live stream game, but that he's got somebody in the background looking after everything while he's running the game. It's not like he is dealing with sound and technical stuff. Okay, so that's a very different story. So he won't live stream if people keep giving him such a rough time. It's just ridiculous. Save or die, how's it going? So, that's just my opinion. I think it's unreasonable for people to expect the same quality from live stream as there is from a pre-recorded video. It is much harder to control everything. Some things you won't even be able to control. It won't even be his gear. It'll be somebody else's internet provider, or the settings on their computer, or lag problems coming through. Just, you know, things that are out of the control of whoever's setting up a live stream. I know because I've been through it myself, and I do a lot of live stream, as you all know. And there are just some days where it just doesn't work. Alright. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go back over the areas that need the sort of the flesh to sort of stand out a little bit. And I think I might actually do the mouth now, because the mouth is going to be really, really difficult. I don't think you missed very much of anything, Save or Die. I think it's all good. I mentioned someone's sound if you are referring to me. Okay, no, I'm not, no. I'm talking about Matthew Colville was live streaming because he wasn't running his game on MCDMCM. That's the other channel that he has, the business one. And people were giving him a hard time because he was live streaming because he wasn't running the game, and he was just going to have a chat with people. And yeah, anytime somebody is live streaming, you need to give them a break, because it's not easy to do, and it's almost impossible to keep the quality of it as high as pre-recorded video. It just can't be done. And when you do get a day when it does all come together and it works out well, it's just great when it does. What's that, Joe? Fred gave me the bug too, but I just haven't made a video yet. Oh, okay. Been researching editing video without a PC and looking at mic setups, lighting, etc. Oh my God, I'll tell you, it is such a large and long and complicated process. I can tell you now that the kind of nonsense that you have to go to be able to get things to kind of come out right it's really difficult. And if you don't have a dedicated space, see, I have a dedicated space now, so I've been able to attach things to my wall and have cameras set up permanently, and dedicated tripod. Tripods are good. Lamps. I mean, today I would prefer to be using natural light and my lamps as well, but I can't because chainsaws outside going bananas. So you just get the darn it. Okay, hang on. I was trying to paint and not concentrating, and I've put red paint in that little place where I don't want it to be. Oh, stop stressing, Fred. Let's just grab this little bit of paint. And we'll do just a quick patch up right now, otherwise I'll forget about it. Oh dear. Okay, so let's just see. Yep, that's good enough. And then let's see if I can just tidy that. Yep, that's good enough. All right, I'm happy now. What virus have I got? No. I found the Blue Yeti has been pretty good, but the problem is you've got to put the Blue Yeti, either if you don't have it on like some sort of stand or something, you've got to have it something underneath it, otherwise the vibration through the desk goes into the microphone. And so it is actually sitting on a padded desk microphone, as well as my tripod for my camera, because the surface of your desk as you're working on something, if you're recording or if you are live streaming, that hard surface, the sound bounces off and causes all sorts of hassles. It took me ages to figure out how to solve that problem. And I actually required assistance to make it work. So, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to use maybe a bigger brush for that section in there. Where else do I need to hit it? I feel like there were other areas that needed to be hit. That little bit there. What is going on in there? I put red in there last time. I don't know why though. I can't remember. Yes, I agree, Fred. You helped me a bunch as well as our mutual hobby. You are. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, John. Now, where is this? I don't know if you guys watch many other channels that aren't Dungeons and Dragons orientated, but I watch a lot of Origins Explained, and they have all sorts of really weird stuff on there. I used to watch Beyond Science. That was awesome, but he stopped sort of doing stuff on his channel, which was sort of sucks. And I would get a lot of ideas for my Dungeons and Dragons games from there. But now I'm watching this Origins Explained, and that's been really helpful. And I was looking at some footage. Jean-Paul, how's it going? I was looking at some footage on mysterious legendary creatures, and they were discussing a variety of different creatures, and one was the Mongolian deathworm. This thing apparently lives in the sand, burrows underneath, leaps out, spits acid at you, and then drags you under and eats you. But it's the acid that it spits that apparently kills you instantly or very quickly. And the Mongolian government had basically said people are not to go and try and find this thing. And I thought that was amusing. When the government says, no, it's too dangerous to go looking for it, stop, it probably means it does actually exist. So if that's a real creature, the things we have in our Dungeons and Dragons game are nowhere near as frightening as something as that. Too many things in real life are just terrifying. Roll for damage, yeah. Roll for damage. I don't know that I've helped you very much. I think you probably helped me more. They'll say editing is my least favourite part of it, which, PJ, this is why I do the live stream. This is why I accepted that if I did live stream, because my internet was strong enough to be able to do it, because of the fibre, I was going to learn how to live stream and get my quality of my video as high as I possibly could, and I would stick with that because that was the bit that was the fun, and all the other bits was just sucks, and editing sucks. It's not that I don't do editing. I do some editing from time to time, and I do it in small doses, but it's not even remotely worth the effort to do editing. I have watched some of my videos and how well they do, and edited video, you don't need to spend an awful lot of time editing video and doing pre-recorded video to do well or do all right. I mean, some of my most popular videos are live streams that I just cut the front and the back off. It's the content that was important. So yeah. Anyway, back to mysterious legendary creatures. And what have I discovered? Well, the Taniwha, which is a creature in New Zealand. It's like, usually the Taniwha is a water creature. It is often a guardian or a creature that protects a location. And they were talking about that creature, and I thought that was quite amusing. And then I was listening to the pronunciation, and I mean, I struggle to pronounce it correctly. But you can certainly see, because, you know, it's Taniwha is not an English word. It's actually Maori. So that means that their vowel system is completely different. It's nothing like modified English from America, and it's nothing like Oxford English either. So you have to know how their whole language sounds. And the only way to do that is to listen to them. You won't get it off the internet. But yeah, that came up, and we've had so many things in New Zealand show up on beaches that were strange, that had come out of the sea. It's like quite a regular event as it happens. Okay, so that's doing all right. That's good news. Jean-Paul, the crew at our D&D night always have a few good chuckles when Fred tries to set up a session recording. Yes, yeah, you guys like making a whole lot of noise. Even me and Simon were showing up early, and it didn't matter. You guys just showed up early, and then you would talk loudly and laugh. We have just as much fun watching Fred deal with his technical gremlins. See you tonight, mate. Yeah, don't come early. me and Simon will be there at 6:30, so we've got half an hour before you guys hopefully show up. Alec, what do you got here? First live video of yours I saw. I was so surprised it was so polished. I was convinced it was pre-recorded until you started moving around and reading comments. Yes, that's it. And there are still people who are convinced in the comments that I had produced a pre-recorded video and that I should have done this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you don't actually know that that's just a cut down version of the live stream, do you? And I didn't. Dear. But the reality is that even the big channels are having to do live because it is significantly easier to produce in quantity, and quality is important, but you'll notice that the bigger channels, they also have to do quantity. It's not just about getting lots of views, it's watch time as well, if that's what you're interested in. Now, the Florida skunk ape, another creature that was discussed in that video. I thought that was hilarious. So a giant ape, like a Sasquatch, I guess, that just smells really bad. Does it not sound a little bit like a troglodyte, just not an ape? I think the coconut crab terrifies me. That the idea of a crab that's big enough that can climb up a palm tree, cut down a coconut, and then tear open a coconut with its claws. That is terrifying. It must be very, very, very strong. I've heard of people being chased by those things. Maybe they were pulling my leg. I don't know, but that sounds like a seriously and significantly scary monster. Okay, so now that I've done that, what I want to do next, I think I'm going to grab some black, and I need to drink some water, and I'm going to start dealing with some of these stitches. Which, trust me, watching me trying to paint stitches is not going to be fun. Roll for damage. I need a stronger PC and connection to stream. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. You do need something like that to make it work. Alright, so I'm not very scared. Fibre internet in Helensville. Yeah, amazing. I can't believe it actually happened. New Zealand. I can't believe that you guys have it out there. I honestly couldn't believe it either. I thought when my brother-in-law said it was going to happen, I was like, yeah, bollocks. But it did. And I actually have access, not because I pay for it or anything. It's just because of my brother-in-law, and he works in that area. I've got access to the best option. So it's Fibre Max. So in New Zealand, Fibre Max is supposed to be like top end. So I think it's download is supposed to be almost a gig, and then upload is sitting at about 400 megabytes. Is it that right? I think that's right. Yeah. Ping was like a 1 or 2. Now it's like a 7, so it's not quite so great. Okay, hang on. So Fred's got some advice here. I'm looking. I'm paying attention. A new species of whale was discovered recently when several dead ones were washed up on a beach. There is a lot we don't know about the world. Yes, absolutely. Totally agree, Fred. What's that, Jean-Paul? It's the only fun I get to have as the DM, sabotaging Fred and Simon's video sessions with riotous laughter in the background. I feel like that's actually payback because Simon and a few others, I'm probably responsible for doing it occasionally, but there are a few who do not stop talking when you are trying to speak, which I can imagine is infuriating at times. Okay. All right. It's good Lord. This is going to be interesting. What's that, Joe? I have fibre as well. They say 1,000 MBS, yes, but the fastest I've tested is around 700, as low as 250. I've had it as low as 7. Coconut crabs are real, yeah. Yeah, they strike me as being terrifying. Scrape the paint and apply a wash to fill in the scratches. Yeah. Okay, so I am trying to scrape the paint. Good Lord, it's going to take me ages. There are so many stitches. Some of these I'm just going to wash over and it'll be that. Can I even get at that one? Down the front. Where his belly button is. Where the belly button is. The kraken, which is your giant squid, right? I mean, that's... Let's not say, oh, it's... We don't know if they exist. I think we can establish now that there is such a thing as a giant squid and they can get to ridiculous sizes. And when somebody says, oh, but how come we haven't seen them before? Well, the problem is there was something like that big that can grab a ship. I would imagine that nobody survives that. That is probably an apex predator. Quite capable of dealing with humans. So those ships that have disappeared, that have never been seen before, giant squid. Or bad storm, but giant squid. Let's go with the giant squid idea. And then a Brosno dragon, which is supposed to be some sort of really large, sort of like a sea lizard. Which I feel like there seem to be an awful lot of monsters or sea creatures or just sightings of things that come out of our ocean. So that sort of shows you just how much or how little we know about the oceans. There's probably a lot of other things down there that never come up to near the surface, and they just stay down in the deeper areas, and occasionally through misfortune they wind up beached somewhere or wash up somewhere and we find them. What's that, Joe? I wonder what coconut crabs taste like. Yeah, that's interesting. Like coconut. Probably tastes like crab meat. Okay. Wow. Someone's alarm's going off. That's not a good sign. I can hear it from here. Through the window. That's closed. Soundproofing foam over it. Okay. Righto, so You showed up at the right time for the fiddly bits, because it's definitely getting fiddly now. Oh, how do I do this without messing it up? Bam. Bam. Okay, good. All right, it's getting there. Tastes like chicken, does it? Save or die. What's that, John? Remember, we have a lot of radiation being dumped into the Pacific Ocean daily by Japan. I don't think it's just going to be Japan. I mean, there's a lot of companies who are dumping their waste in the seas and just paying the $25,000 a day. It's the maximum they can be charged to get rid of their wastes. So it won't just be Japan. Now, that got it. Just around the neck. And then so many little details. Righto, cool. Coming along nicely. I'm sure this will wind up being number 2, followed by number 3, followed by number 4. How many stitches have you painted, Fred? I don't know. The angle on that one's just too difficult. Got it. Think I got that one. All right, not too bad. Working out all right. What's that, Fred? There was a recent Facebook photo of a diver trying to crawl out of a boat with an octopus grabbing him. The main body of the octopus was bigger than the diver. Well, I can believe. Well, that doesn't really surprise me. What's that, John? How do I feel about orcs being so different in 5e and the Sword Coast as opposed to the orcs from the first edition? Let's get real. Orcs are something that Dungeons and Dragons pillaged from Lord of the Rings. So they you can say, oh, but you know, they've always been there. But Dungeons and Dragons and the creators of Dungeons and Dragons have always pillaged and stolen other people's intellectual property and ideas to make their own stuff. So I don't really care personally. You know, they changed it because they had no choice, because they had essentially taken somebody else's idea. So I don't have an issue with it. So they had to make it different in some way. You think about all of the superheroes that had a version that was a Marvel version, and then there was another version that was DC. That's quite a common occurrence. Okay, all right, nice. My little stitches, they're coming out nicely, doing all fine, yeah. Warhammer Fantasy Orcs. I have original Gary Gygax minis. Oh, okay. Yeah, but what I mean, it's not like Tolkien put out Orc minis. That's just something that's coming later on. But the actual, you know, description and what they looked like and so forth was already established in Tolkien's box. So that's why that change took place, is because they'd taken somebody else's idea. Okay, let's see if I can't paint up the stitches in the front. I don't know how many I'll get done, and then if I can get the front ones done, then maybe I can work my way through some of the back ones as well. Oh, this is going to be fun. That little area, it's so difficult to get at. Hang on. Yep, got that one. I can't even tell if that's any good or not, whatever I did with the paint. It's done. Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that, John. There was a court case about the whole issue, so it's not a fabrication. It's a reality. Dungeons and Dragons took somebody else's idea and tried to make it out as their own, and then made money on it. So, you know, and they've done that on many occasions. Whether it be King Kong, you know, they literally made an adventure that was literally just King Kong. They took Alice in Wonderland and they turned that into an adventure. That is a fact. That happened. I know, because I ran it. And they might have changed a few things, but essentially they had taken somebody else's idea and they had tried to sort of purpose it for themselves. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Going to be interesting getting some of these stitches. I don't know if I can necessarily get all of the arm ones done today. That would be impossible, I think. We'll certainly give it a go, though. We'll get as many done as we possibly can. What's that, Fred? Lord of the Rings used legendary creatures pillaged from their sources. It's standard practice. Yes, that's true. Absolutely. Certainly they took them from other places. But let's get real. The reason and rationale for Lord of the Rings and the development of a lot of the ideas and adventures that came out from Dungeons and Dragons is directly copying not just from Lord of the Rings, but a lot of pop culture. And these were not just, you know, myths and legends and stuff like that. There's a lot of myths and legend stuff used, and that's, you know, not anybody's particular copyrighted property, but it was common practice for them to do it constantly. Now, where is this? I wonder if I can get the stitches underneath that arm there. They're pretty hard to get at. Okay, not too bad. There might be just one stitch I can't get at. I can't know if I can I even see it? Is it there? Or is it just my eyes playing tricks on me? I don't know if I can even see anything there. Well, let's not worry about it. Let's just move to the back. Let's attack the back. We'll have a back attack. What F Hubba wins the typo king of the stream. Well done. Okay, I don't know. Why does he win the typo award? Is there an award for typos? Oh no. Oh, not arguing that, Fred, at all. In fact, I agree. I think it was done by popular demand. Oh dear. Alright, so let's use a bit more black, get a few more of these stitches on if my hand and my eyes are good enough to do it. Oh, ah, the fiddly ass. God blimey. A little bit more. Try again. Oh, jeez. I'm having a lot of trouble now. It's because my eyes are getting weaker and tireder. Been at it for about an hour, so that's probably part of the problem. Okay, so let's just clean up. Can I clean up the little mistake that I made? Maybe too late. Is that paint actually wet? No, it's not. Can I even see the area or mistake that I made? Not really. No, yes I can. Yes I can. I can see it. It'll haunt me. I'll just do a patch job there, just so I feel like I've not got to go back and sort out too much stuff later. Yeah. Okay, I know when I need to quit. It's when I can't control the paint, right? And I've been at it for about an hour, so that's probably why I'm starting to get a little bit tired. So I've done some work on the front. I've sort of repainted some of the fleshy areas. There's still a few other things that need to be dealt with. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a huge amount with it too quickly, just because my eyes and my hand can't stay still, and there's a lot of stitches on there. I've done most of the front ones, so if you can see what's going on there. I didn't really get any silver or metal bands painted or sections done, but I'll just give it a spin so you can sort of see what's going on. Things are starting to stand out a bit now. I think that's going to help, and obviously I'll let the wash do a lot of the work as well. So yeah, I don't know that it was too bad for an hour's work, considering how fiddly some of the locations are. So yes, thank you for hanging out with me. I've got hundreds of videos for players and dungeon masters if you're interested, and if you are particularly interested in painting videos, I have a playlist that is listed, painting D&D miniatures. Those are sort of my really old live streams. If you're looking for the newer live streams, like this one in particular, and any that come out in the future from now on, it's in a playlist called Miniature Painting. And I will, when 2019 ends, I will list it as Miniature Painting 2019. They are all unlisted in there, but you should still be able to find the playlist if you're interested. Now, if you want to support the channel, so I keep doing stuff like this on my day off, which I don't mind because it's kind of fun, if you ask me. I like painting miniatures. You can support me over on Patreon. We get access to the live stream, so you don't have to find it through the playlist if you don't want to do it that way. I also provide priority on any video content that I make for Patreon or patrons, and additional content. There's also an affiliate link to a book depository on Amazon if you're interested in buying stuff online and supporting me. And I've got a merchandise shelf. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos, which does happen quite a bit if you ask me. And hey, till next time, where's my big dice? Keep rolling them 20s.